Everyone online talks about starting an SMMA, but the truth is freelancing might actually be the faster way for you to win clients. So in this video, I'm breaking down freelancing versus SMMA, the real pros and cons, which actually makes sense to you. Point 1, the barrier to entry. Freelancing is super low, so all you really need is a skill in outreach. And by outreach, I'm not saying cold DMs, I'm not saying cold calls. Actually, for me, I did not get my freelance clients from either of those. I got them from Upwork. With freelancing, there's no LLC, there's no fancy branding, there's no team. You could literally start this today. With SMMA, it's different. You're usually selling higher retainers. That means customized contracts, proposals, and systems that need to be in place. It sounds like starting from $0, but realistically, you do still need tools. And listen, I'm not saying this as someone that knows nothing about SMMA. I tried SMMA for a year and a half, and I found that it just was not as easy as what most creators on YouTube make it out to be. And for freelancing, especially if you use a platform like Upwork, you have the ability to keep everything in one place. Next, client trust. Freelancers feel more approachable. They feel like a real person, and it's easier to close your first deal because you're relatable. Agencies, on the other hand, feel the opposite 99% of the time. And most importantly, they feel riskier to business owners. And the reason why is because a lot of small businesses have already been burned by bad agencies. And you may have an SMMA that actually really cares about driving results and helping businesses grow, but for the most part, agencies really just care about making the next buck, and there's not really any personal connection between the client, which is what ultimately builds trust. Now let's talk money. Freelancers tend to get cash faster. In the beginning, you can land small projects for $200, $500 gigs. To scale, you'll need to raise your rates or work more hours. And how do you get to that point? It's about results and proof. The beginning days can feel intimidating to most. I get it. I've been there. You have to be willing to put yourself in a place where you are willing to work for free or for a very low rate. Every freelancer has had to do that. Once you are able to collect the results that you bring in the beginning days, after you've learned as much as you could by being hands-on in ad accounts, you can use those results to gain confidence, gain conviction, which helps you in the long run when you get on calls with more clients. SMMA, it's usually not as profitable as if you were to take the slower route as a freelancer and slowly scale to that 1.5 to 5K retainers. As a freelancer, it's just you. You do not have to split the money that you get from that client between team members. You are the one that works on the account, so you get everything. The next point is skills you actually learn. As a freelancer, you are hands-on, you're in the account daily. You're learning copywriting, you're learning ads, the design, email, whatever it is that you offer. That credibility matters, and it makes it easier to pivot into SMMA later. As an SMMA owner, your skills are more about sales and client management, which is great, but if your team fails, you don't have the actual craft to back it up. That is why some SMMAs collapse, because they are just trying to be the middlemen while everyone else does the work. And listen, there's going to be certain situations where this could be the opposite. So let's say you're really, really passionate about having an SMMA. You know that this is what you want to do and this is what you want to skip. If that is the case, then I recommend that you do learn a skill first. Like you should understand the in and outs of your agency, because the last thing that you want to be the middleman and hire someone for a specific task. Let's just say it's meta ads. You hire them, they're in the ad account, but you can't even go into the ad account confidently because you don't know how everything works. So that person could just be using you. So whether you decide to start out as a freelancer or you decide to start out as an SMMA, just learn the crafts. Learn as much as you can before you get started on building all of those perfect docs for contracts and slides and all that stuff. I've been there. I've perfected those things whenever I had an SMMA, but it also made sense for me too, because I've been running meta ads for years now. And I knew that if I was to hire someone to do this for me, I could go into the ad account and see what they're doing and call them out if I saw something that was wrong. Lastly is lifestyle fit. In my opinion, freelancing is more flexible. You control your schedule, your creativity, and your client work. But income can be unpredictable, and you're still the only worker. SMMA is more structured, more meetings, more responsibility. It can be stressful, but hopefully you have a trustworthy team to back you in difficult situations. So freelancing is for solo builders. Again, freelancing can turn into high ticket income. I am literally a freelancer that makes thousands of dollars from every single client that I work with now. And I prefer this because I've tried both routes. In my opinion, I think that freelancing can be more scalable, it can be more profitable. However, SMMA fits people who want to grow a company. So here's the bottom line for me. I think that if you are just starting out, that freelancing is going to be the smartest way for you to go. It's easier and you will build real skills. Once you've got the confidence and proof, then you can decide, and I mean thoroughly think through, if SMMA is something that you want to do. I'm a bit biased in this, as you can tell, because I hated SMMA. I still hate SMMA. I can't stand the whole thing, and I understand it's for some people. Some people really thrive in this space, and for those people, like, I respect, and I especially respect you if you genuinely care about helping businesses grow. But if you are considering scaling into an SMMA, I would urge you to consider scaling as a freelancer, which is something that I am going to be breaking down in another video. But there are ways to do this. Like I said before, you can increase your monthly retainers, you can increase your hourly rate. Of course, at some point, you are going to reach some sort of ceiling, like an SMMA would, where they have to hire some other people. But SMMAs are going to have to always give some of that money from the client to their employees. Why I like freelancing so much is because the money is mine. So when you reach that ceiling, there are ways to collaborate with other high-ticket freelancers so that you guys can continue making all of the profits yourself. And the result in that is the client continuing to trust two people who are being personal in the accounts and communicating with them every single day, versus an SMMA where most of the time the communication is passed down from one person to another. It's hard to build that trust. But if that is something that speaks to you, then you should definitely do that. I just want to make sure that you have all of your options laid out on a table so that you can make the most informed decision for yourself. I hope you found this video helpful. If you are interested in learning more about SMMA versus freelancing, or learning to build a high ticket skill to scale as a freelancer, then hit that subscribe button. I will be putting out videos every single Sunday for you. And if any of these points stuck out to you, drop a comment below. Are you starting freelance or are you starting an SMMA? I'll see you in the next video.